Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening to me. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and we are here with day 219 of the Be a Better You annual challenge. We're focusing on the emotional health and well-being area and aspect of our life this month. Remember, there's 9 different life framework areas that I share pretty much every year. I've done it for, I think, the last 4 or 5 years. And prior to that, I shared it with people in different ways, but not necessarily as part of our annual challenge. We did other things for the annual challenge. This is about our 8th year doing an annual challenge. So this year's is the Be a Better You annual challenge. We're doing one thing every day to be a better version of ourselves, a better human being, a better person, just to move our life forward in the direction we want it to go and to create the life that we want. Well, today's topic is emotional, and I did not pull out my SOAP framework yet, but I will tomorrow. And we're going to select a challenge area, an emotionally challenging area for us that we want to apply our SOAP framework to. SOAP framework is something I came up with in 2020 to keep moving forward during the pandemic and all the craziness that was going on with that. There were so many changes and so many challenges hitting all of us in the face simultaneously around the entire world. I did a bunch of self-reflection, and I'm like, okay, I just want to hibernate and hide in a little corner for the 2 weeks this is going to last. Well, remember that 2 weeks literally turned into 2 years, and we're still dealing with the ramifications and the impact of the pandemic, right? So I knew I needed to do something, and I decided, okay, I'm going to do a 30-day challenge every other month for as long as this goes on, because by the time I decided to do that, I was already doing challenges, but I decided to do that to keep, I hate the word pivot, but pivoting and changing and moving forward and going with the flow of what was going on. And that ended up being a 2-year project, so every other month for 2 years. But I also took some coaching during that time period. It was a great time to do personal development, home improvement, things like that. If you're locked down at home and all of your to-do lists that never gets done because we're always so busy, we were all able to knock those out for the most part. Unless, of course, you just binged Netflix or one of the other streaming videos for a couple of years, and then you probably didn't accomplish much. All right, so what are we talking about today? What are we going to do? How are we going to pick the emotional challenge area that we want to focus on over the next 4 days with the SOAP framework, that we want to find some way to either deal with, knock out, improve, make it so that it's not a challenge for us anymore? Well, I thought about this a little bit, and I thought, okay, I like to think about what's my emotional temperature. I like to think about, as we did for the core value process, what are my peak emotional moments? And what are emotions that I am frequently experiencing? What are the emotions I experience on a daily basis, both positive and negative? And then I want to list those out and think about those. And you might already know what emotion or what thing you're feeling the most and you want to deal with. For me, frustration often comes up. Raising my voice, or getting too excited about things that just don't matter. Worrying about things that are really not even my business. They're other people's business, but worrying about people I love and care about and what's going on with them. And it's not even worry so much as, I guess concern and worry are the same thing, let's be honest. Okay? They're the same frickin' thing. What else did I say? If you spend 5 minutes of quiet time, if you're not sure, if nothing just rises to the top, is there anything keeping you up at night? Is there anything that's causing you to lose sleep? That's something we probably want to knock out because we need our sleep. Or an exercise I like to do is I spend 5 quiet minutes. I will actually set a timer for 5 minutes of just peace and quiet. I will go somewhere that is peaceful and quiet because my environment is not always peaceful, quiet, and conducive to quiet self-reflection and quiet thinking. And we all need quiet thinking time every single day. And so I will go somewhere, I will sit for 5 minutes, and I will think about and pay attention to what pops into my head, what emotions come up, what am I feeling, how does it make me feel? If you cannot sit for 5 minutes quiet by yourself with a timer, that is a huge red flag that you need to take better care of yourself and need to be more self-focused. Somebody asked us on a survey, one of my social media friends yesterday, about our biggest challenge areas in terms of self-improvement and self-development. And one of them was boundaries. And I was like, and another was boundaries, asking for help. Both areas I struggle with, by the way, still. I can't remember what the other two were. But to me, the one that popped into my head as the most important right now was boundaries. Now, I haven't really thought about that a lot, but I do set boundaries in some areas and aspects of my life extremely well. Oh, your ability to say no, and I'll remember the other one later. And then in other areas, I don't set boundaries at all. Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I don't want to upset anyone, and I don't want, all the reasons and the excuses we make for why we don't do the things we know that we should do. So today, I want you to think about, do these things, use these tools. If you need help with this, please ask, because by tomorrow we are going to hop into the S of the SOAP framework. So we want to have our challenge area picked today. I've looked at a couple and thought about a couple, but I will pick mine today so that tomorrow we can hop right into the S of our SOAP framework. All right. Any questions about this? If you need help picking a challenge area, if you're just not sure what to do, we can probably talk for 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll be able to ascertain what you need to work on and what you want to change and challenge in your emotional life. All right. Have an awesome day. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow.